Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, Dandavat Pranams to all the devotees. Thank you all for joining in for our Bhagavad Gita study session. So, we're continuing from 6.37. So, we'll start with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Sahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauradushe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupaswarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, Dandavat Pranams to all the devotees. Thank you all for joining in for our study session. We are on chapter number 6 of the Bhagavad Gita. So, today we continue from verse number 37. So, yesterday we saw how Arjuna was telling Krishna, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati bhalavadradam tasyaham nigraham manye vayu rivashu dushkaram. Where Arjuna is telling Krishna, oh Krishna, my mind is wandering here and there. Very, very difficult to control my mind. Vayu rivashu dushkaram. I can control the wind also, but I'm not able to control my mind. In that way, when Arjuna tells Krishna, then Krishna says, this is the verse that we are memorizing for this week also. What is that? Asamshayam Mahabaho. Lord Krishna is saying, Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Asamshayam Mahabaho Mano Durni Graham Chalam. Abhyasena tu Kaunteya Vairagyena cha Grihate. Abhyasa means to practice. Tu Kaunteya. Kaunteya is Arjuna. Because he's the son of Kunti, he is also addressed as Kaunteya, Kunti's son. Vairagyena cha grihate. Vairagya means detachment. By suitable practice and detachment, one can control the restless mind. This is what is the prescription given by Krishna to Arjuna. And then Krishna said, Asamyadatmana yogo dusprapa iti matihi vashyatmanatu yatata shakyo vaptum upayataha. For one whose mind is unbridled, that means uncontrolled, now very, very difficult to attain self-realization, but one who strives or one who tries by appropriate means is assured of success. And then Prabhupada tells there is no need for any separate endeavor or any particular yoga practice to attain Krishna consciousness, because by simply being performing bhakti yoga, all of the results of the other processes are automatically obtained like that. See, right? And he gave the example of how a 200 rupee note already includes 20 rupees and 2 rupees. One need not separately endeavor to get 20 rupees and 2 rupees when one already has 200 rupees, isn't it? Similarly, when one is following Bhakti Yoga, automatically the benefits of Ashtanga Yoga or Karma Yoga or Jnana Yoga, everything is automatically included as part of Bhakti Yoga. All right, so let me share my screen. Devotees who want to read can raise your hand. We'll start with text number 37. Now Arjuna is going to ask, right? Arjuna is asking, okay, Krishna, you are saying that I have to become a transcendentalist. That's perfectly fine. I will try to become one. But then what happens to a person who's not even successful as a transcendentalist? Right? He's saying it like a cloud being driven away, right? Na garka na gatka. ऐसा situation हो जाएगा क्या? ऐसा पूछ रहे हैं Arjuna. Arjuna is asking Krishna, what happens to a transcendentalist? We've given up all the material things. We've given up all the attachment to material nature, but still we are not able to completely get attached to Krishna. Then what happens to us who are in between? This is very valid question that Arjuna is asking. So let's study text number 37. Sridhar Prabhu, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Arjuna uvacha ayati shraddhayo veda yoga chalidamanasa abhrabhya yoga samsthitam kam kadim Krishna gacchadi. Arjuna uvacha. Arjuna said, ayati, the unsuccessful transcendentalist, shraddhaya, with faith, ubet, engaged, you got from the my strict link, Chalita deviated, Manasa, who has such a mind, Abrabhya, failing to attain, Yoga Samsthitam, the highest perfection in mystium, calm, which Gadim, destination, Krishna, Ho Krishna, Gachadi, achieves. Translation, Hare Krishna. Arjuna said, "Oh Krishna, what is the destination of the unsuccessful transcendentalist who is in the beginning take to the process of self-realization with faith, but who later desist due to what widely mindless and thus does not attain perfection in mysticism." Purport, Hare Krishna. The path of self-realization of mysticism is described in the Bhagavad Gita. The basic principle of self-realization is knowledge that the living entity is not this material body, but that he is different from it, and that his happiness is eternal life, bliss, and knowledge. This transcendental beyond both body and mind. Self-realization is sought by the path of knowledge, by the practice of eightfold system, or by Bhakti Yoga. In each of this process, one has to realize the constitutional position of living entity, his relationship with God, and the activities whereby he can re-establish the last link and achieve the highest perfection stage of Krishna consciousness. Following any of the above mentioned three methods, one is sure to reach the Bhakti Yoga is especially suitable for the age. Because
No. This was Prabhu, you left two lines in between. This was asserted by the Lord in the second chapter.
Following any of the above mentioned three methods, one is sure to reach the supreme goal sooner or later. This was asserted by the Lord in the second chapter. Even a little endeavor of the transcendental path offers a great hope of deliverance. Out of these three methods, the path of Bhakti Yoga is especially suitable for the age, because it is most direct method of God realization to the doubtly assured. Arjuna is asking.
Doubly assured, not doubtly.
Doubtly. Assured.
Doubly,
two times, okay. Arjuna is asking Lord Krishna to confirm his former statement. One may sincerely accept the path of self-realization, but the process of cultivation of knowledge and the practice of eightfold yoga system are generally very difficult for this age. Therefore, despite constant endeavor, one may fail for many reasons. First of all, one may not sufficient serious about following the process. To pursue the transcendental path is more or less to declare war or illusory energy. Consequently, whenever a person tries to escape the clutches of illusory energy, she tries to defeat the practitioner by the various allurement. A conditioned soul is already allured by the mode of material energy, and there is every chance of beginning allured again. even while performing transcendental discipline. This is called yogic chalita manasa. The chalita manasa. Deviation from the transcendental path. Arjuna is inquisitive to know the result of deviation from the path of self-realization. Hare Krishna. Dandot Pranam Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. So here, Prabhupada very beautifully explains in the purport also, which the question that Arjuna is asking. Right? We discussed that how even if a person does not attain the spiritual destination, although he's been practicing Krishna consciousness, if someone is not able to attain the practice of Krishna consciousness, just 1 second. Okay. So if one is not able to attain the stage of self-realization, one is not able to perfect one's life, then what happens to such a person? This is what is asked by Arjuna. Right now, Krishna is going to answer Arjuna's query. What happens to an unsuccessful transcendentalist? That's what we're going to read. The questions are still continuing. Actually, Arjuna is asking, such a person is will he perish like a riven cloud? Neither becoming part of the material success nor becoming a part of the spiritual success. Will he actually not be able to get both? That's what he's asking. Let's read that. Text number 38. Okay, let me share my screen again. Yes, Sudha Mataji, you can go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams.
Pranam.
Tachinno bhaya vivrashtas chinnabram iva nashyati apratishto mahabaho vimudo brahmana pati. Synonyms: kachit, whether, not, ubhaya, both, vivrashta, deviated from, chinna, stone, abhram, cloud, iva, like, nashyati, perishes, apratishta, without any position, mahabaho, O mighty armed Krishna, Vimudha, bewildered, Brahmana of transcendence, Pati, on the path. Translation and purport by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O mighty armed Krishna, does not such a man who is bewildered from the path of transcendence fall away from both spiritual and material success and perish like a riven cloud with no position in any sphere? Purport. There are two ways to progress. Those who are materialists have no interest in transcendence. Therefore, they are more interested in material advancement by economic development or in promotion to the higher planets by appropriate work. When one takes to the path of transcendence, one has to cease all material activities and sacrifice all forms of so-called material happiness. If the aspiring transcendentalist fails, then he apparently loses both ways. In other words, he can enjoy neither material happiness nor spiritual success. He has no position. He is like a riven cloud. A cloud in the sky sometimes deviates from a small cloud and joins a big one. But if it cannot join a big one, then it is blown away by the wind and becomes a non-entity in the vast sky. The Brahmanapati is the path of transcendental realization through knowing oneself to be spiritual in essence, part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, who is manifested as Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Lord Sri Krishna is the fullest manifestation of the Supreme Absolute Truth, and therefore one who is surrendered to the Supreme Person is a successful transcendentalist. To reach this goal of life through Brahman and Paramatma realization takes many, many births. Bahunam Janmanam Ante. Therefore, the supermost path of transcendental realization is Bhakti Yoga or Krishna consciousness, the direct method. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So in this, Arjuna is continuing to ask that question, right? Will somebody who's not successful in the spiritual parlance lose the benefits of the spiritual world also, and also lose the benefits of material success also, and be riven like a riven cloud, right? That means what? It is neither forming part of the clouds which form the rain, nor is it part of the clouds itself, right? Like a riven cloud, will such a person will not get the benefit of both the material as well as spiritual success, like that. So please let me know. Please dispel my doubt. That's what Arjuna is asking. Etanme samshayam Krishna chetum arhasya sheshatah. Okay, let's read. We'll ask Monimala Mataji can read this. Okay. Yes, Mataji, go ahead. Monimala Mataji, text number 37. Text number 39.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Mataji.
Etat me samshayam Krishna chetum aharshi ashashatah tat anno samshayasya aso ched nahi upapadatte. Etat, this is me, my, samshayam, doubt, Krishna, O Krishna, chetam, O to dispel, aharsi, requested to do, asestaha, completely, tat, yourself, anya, without, samshayasya, of the doubt, of this, chetta, remove her, na, never, he, certainly, upapadate, to be found. This is my doubt, O Krishna, and I ask you to dispel it completely. But for yourself, no one is to be found who can destroy this doubt. Purport by Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Krishna is the perfect knower of past, present, and future. In the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord said that all living entities exist individually in the past, that they exist now in the present, and that they continue to remain individual identity in the future, even after liberation from the material entanglement. So, he has already cleared up the question of the future of the individual living entity. Now, Arjuna wants to know of the future of the unsuccessful transcendentalist. No one is equal to or above Krishna, and certainly the so-called great sages and philosophers who are at the mercy of material nature cannot equal him. Therefore, the verdict of Krishna is the final and complete answer to all doubts, because he knows past, present, and future perfectly. But no one knows him. Krishna and Krishna conscious devotees alone can know what is what. Haribol Mataji, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So here, very, very beautifully, Prabhupada has made a point here. So we are not interested in asking everybody's opinion, right? If we ask 10 people 10 different things, we will get 10 different answers, right? But we don't want to ask 10 different people for what is their opinion, right? Because we know that we'll get 10 different answers. We want to ask a person coming from the bona fide parampara who can give us what is the answer of Krishna, right? Why do we want only Krishna's answer? Because Krishna only knows the past, the present, and the future. None of us can claim to know our past, our present, or our future, right? We cannot even remember what we had at the same time last week. What was I doing? I don't know, right? Probably would have been attending the class only. That's one thing that they might be there. But if you ever remember what is the breakfast I had last Friday, we don't remember. So in this way, we don't even know what has happened to us in the last 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. And of course, future is completely a mystery, right? But the Lord, like he tells in the second chapter, Natva evaham jatunasham natvam neme janadipaha na chaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayam ataha param. Krishna is telling in the chapter 2 of the Bhagavad Gita that I know the past, the present, and the future. You and I are both individuals. I know the past and present and the future. However, you don't know it, O Arjuna. You are also coming with me every time. Every time I incarnate, Krishna never incarnates, comes down alone in this material world. Whenever Krishna comes, Krishna always comes with his parshadas, his associates. So here Krishna is saying that whenever I have come, you also come with me. But then I remember all of our previous incarnations, whereas you don't remember. So in this way, Krishna's opinion is most important because Krishna knows the past, present, and future. Krishna knows what is best for us. And in this way, if we rely on Krishna, then everything will be happening positively in our life. Rather, if we think of ourselves as being the controller of our life, because we don't know our past or future, we don't know what is actually good for us because of our having a myopic view, right? Suddenly now I think this is good for me and I want this. But that may not be good for me in the long run, right? And what is good for me in the long run, only Krishna knows. So that is why we need to surrender to Krishna and then follow Krishna's instructions in the form of Bhagavad Gita, in the form of the instructions by Srila Prabhupada's books, in the form of instructions from our gurus, And in this way, we tread on the path of bhakti. Like that. Okay, text number 40. Now, Krishna is going to answer Arjuna. Right? What happens to an unsuccessful transcendentalist? The answer to that is given in text number 40 by Lord Shri Krishna himself. Okay, Sindhu Mataji, please go ahead. Let's read out the answer for this.
Hare Krishna, pranams Mataji.
Hare Krishna, pranams Mataji. Yes.
Text 40, Mataji, purport is too lengthy. You want me to read?
Yeah. Please read the verse first.
Yeah. It's 40, Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Partha Naiveha Namutra. Vinashastasya vidyate nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatin tata gachati. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada.
Synonyms first.
Yeah, synonyms. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Partha, O son of Pritha, na eva, never is it so, iha, in this material world, na never, amutra, in the next life, vinashaha, destruction, tasya, his, vidyate, exist, na never, he certainly, kalyanakrit, one who is engaged in auspicious activities, kaschit, anyone, durgati, to degradation, Tata, my friend, Gachati goes. Translation and purport by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, son of Pritha, transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities does not meet with destruction either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. Purport, in the Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.17, Sri Narad Muni instructs Vyasadeva as follows. Paktva swadharmam charanambujam hare bhajan apakvo tapate tato yadi yatrakva vadram abu amushyakim varta apto bhajatam swadharmataha. If someone gives up all material prospects and takes complete shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no loss or degradation in any way. On the other hand, a non-devotee may fully engage in his occupational duties and yet not gain anything. For material prospects, there are many activities, both scriptural and customary. A transcendentalist is supposed to give up all material activities for the sake of spiritual advancement in life, Krishna consciousness. One may argue that by Krishna consciousness, one may attain the highest perfection if it is completed. But if one does not attain such a perfectional stage, then he loses both materially and spiritually. It is enjoined in the scriptures that one has to suffer the reactions for not executing prescribed duties. Therefore, one who fails to discharge transcendental activities properly becomes subjected to these reactions. The Bhagavatam assures the unsuccessful transcendentalist that there need be no worries. Even though he may be subjected to the reaction for not perfectly executing the prescribed duties, he is still not a loser because auspicious Krishna consciousness is never forgotten. And one so engaged will continue to be so even if he is low-born in the next life. On the other hand, one who simply follows strictly the prescribed duty need not necessarily attain auspicious results if he is lacking in Krishna consciousness. Continue. Yeah, the purport
Krishna?
may be under. Yeah, shall I continue?
Yes, Mataji. Go ahead.
Am I audible? The purport may be understood as follows. Humanity may be divided into two sections, namely the regulated and the non-regulated. Those who are engaged simply in bestial sense gratifications without knowledge of their next life or spiritual salvation belong to the non-regulated section. And those who follow the principles of prescribed duties in the scriptures are classified amongst the regulated section. The non-regulated section, both civilized and non-civilized, educated and non-educated, strong and weak, are full of animal propensities. Their activities are never auspicious because while enjoying the animal propensities of eating, sleeping, defending, and mating, they perpetually remain in the material existence, which is always miserable. On the other hand, those who are regulated by scriptural injunctions and who thus rise gradually to Krishna consciousness certainly progress in life. Those who are following the path of auspiciousness can be divided into three sections, namely, the followers of scriptural rules and regulations who are enjoying the material prosperity, 2, those who are trying to find ultimate liberation from material existence, and 3, those who are devotees in Krishna consciousness. Those who are following the rules and regulations of the scriptures for material happiness may be further divided into 2 classes: those who are fruitive workers and those who desire no fruit for sense gratification. Those who are after fruitive results for sense gratification may be elevated to a higher standard of life, even to the higher planets. But still, because they are not free from material existence, they are not following the truly auspicious path. The only auspicious activities are those which lead one to liberation. Any activity which is not aimed at ultimate self-realization or liberation from the material bodily concept of life is not at all auspicious. Activity in Krishna consciousness is the only auspicious activity, and anyone who voluntarily accepts all bodily discomforts for the sake of making progress on the path of Krishna consciousness can be called a perfect transcendentalist under severe austerity. And because the Eightfold Yoga system is directed towards the ultimate realization of Krishna consciousness, such practice is also auspicious, and no one who's trying his best in this matter need fear degradation. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Right, a very, very important line. It's a line of reassurance given by Prabhupada. Krishna also says, right, such a person will be born in, as somebody who's practiced for a short period of time will be born in the family of Brahmanas, will be born in an aristocratic family. And somebody who's practiced Krishna consciousness for a long period of time, he will get born in a Vaishnava family. Where Prabhupada also tells in the Prabhupada Lilamrita, we were very fortunate to be born in a Vaishnava family, right? Abai, that's how the Prabhupada Lilamrita starts. Ding, 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 ding. Right? Prabhupada wakes up on the sound of his father, Gaur Mohan De, performing the arti of his deities. And that's when the little boy, Abai, wakes up in the morning to hearing the sounds. He also says, my spiritual master and myself, we are fortunate to be born in Vaishnava families. Right? So in this way, what happens in a Vaishnava family? One gets to practice Krishna consciousness right from birth. Like Prahlad Maharaj says, Kaumaram Acharet Prajna. Right from childhood, one has to follow these principles of Krishna consciousness. Then one can easily attain the desired success of Krishna Prema. But what if somebody is not able to complete in this lifetime? Then according to the amount of Krishna consciousness activity is done, one either gets born in a Vaishnava family or in a Brahminical family or even in a rich cultured family. And in this way, what happens? One is able to take up austerities, one is able to observe Ekadashi, or one is able to observe Janmashtami, Ram Navami that's coming up in the next 5 days. So in this way, one takes up austerities, chants the holy name of the Lord, and lands oneself in a better destination. Whereas somebody who's performed a lot of sinful activities may not get the opportunity to chant Hare Krishna or to observe these regulative principles or to observe these wonderful days like appearance and disappearance days of Acharyas, appearance day of the Lord, etc. Right? So all of our previous actions, there is no loss or diminution in the path of bhakti. Right? Neha Vikramanashosti Pratyavayuna Vidyate Swalpam apiyasya dharmasya thrayate mahato bhayat. Swalpam, alpam means very small, very little. Swa alpam means very, very little. Even if one performs very, very little devotional service, even then that the merit of devotional service is that it will protect one from the greatest type of fear. Mahato bhayat. Right? It will protect one from the most greatest types of fear. That is the advantage, or that is the glory of performing devotional service. Okay, let's move ahead. Text number 41. Shobha Mataji, go ahead. Prapya punya kritam. Yes, Mataji, go ahead. Hari bol. Danad pranam.
Pranam Mataji, Hari bol. Text 41. Prapya punya kritam lokan ustitva shashvatihi samaha suchinam shrimatam gehe yoga brirasto abhijayate. Synonyms and purport translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Vijay. Prapya, after achieving punya kritam of those who perform pious activities, lokan, planets, usitva, after dwelling, shashvati, many, samaha, years, suchinam, of the pious, shrimatam, of the prosperous, gehe, in the house, yoga brisataha, one who has fallen from the path of self-realization, abhijayate, taken his birth. Translation. The unsuccessful yogi, after many, many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. Purport. The successful yogis are divided into two classes. One after progress and one is performing the long practice of yoga. Yogi evolves after a short period of practice, goes to the higher planets where pious living entities are allowed to enter. After prolonged life there, one is sent back again to this planet to take birth in the family of a righteous Brahmana Vaishnava or a aristocratic merchant. The real purpose of yoga practice is to achieve the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness as explained in the last verse of this chapter. But those who do not persevere to such an extent and who fails again because of material allurements are allowed by the grace of the Lord, who make full utilization of their material propensities, and after that they are given opportunities to live prosperous lives in righteous or aristocratic families. Those who are born in such families may take advantage of the facility and try to elevate themselves to full Krishna consciousness. Haribol Dandot Pranam Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Yeah. So someone who's not practiced Krishna consciousness for a long time, he gets to take a birth in rich family, aristocratic family, where he gets an opportunity to do more charity. And in this way, he develops more sukruti. And when a person develops more sukruti, he gets the opportunity to serve the devotees. And when one serves the devotees or serves the ISKCON mission or serves the body of Srila Prabhupada, which is the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, then automatically one is elevating one's consciousness and slowly is able to accept, because the Cheto Darpana Marjanam happens with devotional service, even when it is done without knowledge. It's called Ajnata Sukruti. When we get Ajnata Sukruti, then in some way our consciousness becomes more favorable towards the practice of devotional service. And in this way, one is able to advance further. But what happens if one is not able to attain the desired success of Krishna Prema after having followed the process of Bhakti Yoga for a long, long time? The destination is still even better. Let's see what it is. Text number 42. Harjeet Mataji, go ahead. Atava yoginameva kule bhavati dhimatam etadhi durlabhataram loke janma yadi drisham. Synonyms?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranam.
Atha va or yogi nam of learned transcendentalists, eva certainly, kule in the family, bhavati takes birth, the matam of those who are endowed of great wisdom, etat this he certainly, dulabhataram very rare, loke in this world, janma birth, yat that which idrisham like this. Translation: or if unsuccessful after long practice of yoga, he takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly such a birth is rare in this world. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Purport: birth in a family of yogis or transcendentalists, those with great wisdom, is praised herein because the child born in such a family receives a spiritual impetus from the very beginning of his life. It is especially the case in the Acharyas or Goswamis families. Such families are very learned and devoted by tradition and training, and thus they become spiritual masters. In India, there are many such Acharya families, but they have now degenerated due to insufficient education and training. By the grace of the Lord, there are still many families that fosters transcendentalist generation after generation. It is certainly very fortunate to take birth in such families. Fortunately, both our spiritual master Om Vishnu Pada Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj and our humble self had the opportunity to take birth in such families by the grace of the Lord, and both of us were trained in the devotional service of the Lord from the very beginning of our lives. Later on, we met by the order of the transcendental system. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Very wonderful, isn't it? So Prabhupada is mentioning myself as well as my spiritual master. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur were born in Vaishnava families. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is the son of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, the ray of Vishnu that Bhakti Vinod Thakur prayed for. That ray of Vishnu was Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who was named Vimala Prasad. Right? Bimala Devi is Vigraha is actually kept in Jagannath Puri, and all the offerings of Lord Jagannath are first offered to Lord Jagannath, and immediately after that offered to Bimala Devi, and after that only distributed to all of the people who come to Jagannath Puri. Right? Jagannath Puri Dham is known for its prasadam, right? For the huge quantities of prasadam. Anybody who goes to Jagannath Puri does not remain hungry at all, because there is so much distribution of prasadam, and the perfection can be attained simply by honoring prasadam in Jagannath Puri Dham. Similarly, Kirtan is the mood in Mayapur Navdeep Dham. Similarly, in Jagannath Puri, it is said that if someone honors the Jagannath Mahaprasadam, right, that is first offered to Bimala Devi, then one can easily undergo this purification process. One will easily be able to attain taste in hearing about Krishna, taste in chanting Hare Krishna, etc. Right? And Prabhupada also talks about how both of them had the opportunity, right? How Abhay, we just now discussed, right? That, Abhay was a small boy. As he got up, there was Arati being performed by his father, Gormohan Day, to their deity, Vigraha. He had the deities of Radha Govindji at home, right? So in this way, Prabhupada, as well as Prabhupada's spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, were born in Vaishnava families. And Prabhupada is saying, later on, we met with the order of the transcendental system. Means what? Means they got connected through the bona fide Guru Shishya Parampara. That is, they got connected through the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Guru Parampara. Like that. All right, text number 43. That means what? Very important here. Even if one is born in a Brahminical family, even if one is born in a Vaishnava family, for that reason, one has to be connected through the to the bona fide Guru Parampara through a proper Vaishnava Guru. Otherwise, one may not be able to realize and attain the level of Krishna Prema without a bona fide Guru. Right? Even Krishna accepted a spiritual master, Sandipani Muni. And even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted a spiritual master, Ishwara Puri. Right? Although they were born in very wonderful families, family full of devotees, the Lord himself is appearing. Yet the Lord is teaching us that what is the importance of accepting a Guru who is coming in the bona fide Guru Parampara in order to understand the transcendental subject matters. All right. So let's move forward. Text number 43. Who will read? Tatratam buddhi samyogam lavade parvadehikam yatate tato bhuyah samsiddhav kurunandana. Synonyms word to word translation. Tatra, thereupon, tam, that, buddhi samyogam, revival of consciousness, labate, gains, paurvadehikam, from the previous body, yatate, he endeavors. Also, tataha, thereafter, bhuyaha, again, samsiddhav, for perfection, kurunandana, O son of the Kuru dynasty. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. On taking such a birth, he revives the divine consciousness of his previous life and again tries to make further progress in order to achieve complete success. O son of Kuru, right? There is no loss of diminution. One continues from where one left off in this path of bhakti. Okay, Shobha Mataji, go ahead. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. King Jada Bharata, or King Bharata, who took his third birth in the family of a good Brahmana. Yes, go ahead.
Haribol, purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. King Bharata, who took his third birth in the family of a good Brahmana, is an example of good birth for the revival of previous transcendental consciousness. King Bharata was the emperor of the world, and since his time, this planet has been known among the demigods as Bharatavarsha. Formerly it was known as Ilavata Varsha. The emperor at an early age retired for spiritual perfection but failed to achieve success. In his next life, he took birth in the family of a good Brahmana and was known as Jada Bharata because he always remained secluded and did not talk to anyone. And later on, he was discovered as the greatest transcendentalist by King Raghugana. From his life, it is understood that transcendental endeavor or the practice of yoga never go in vain. By the grace of the Lord, the transcendentalist gets repeated opportunities for complete perfection in Krishna consciousness. Haribol, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So in this way, Krishna is reassuring again and again that there is no loss or diminution in the path of bhakti. One continues from where one left, right? And gives the example of Bharat Maharaj, who actually became Jada Bharat, who became a deer in his next life. And on the next birth, he became Jada Bharat. But in all those, lifetimes, because he was a pure devotee of the Lord, Krishna gave him the remembrance that when he was a deer also he remembered, when he was Jada Bharat also remembered his previous life as Bharat Maharaj. So he did not do any mistake. Right? So in this way, Ajamil also called out Lord Narayan. It is possible to remember the Lord, associate with the Lord and the Lord's devotees only with the Lord's own causeless mercy. And hence one has to be very grateful for the association of devotees, for the opportunity to render devotional service like that. Text number 44. Sudha Mataji, go ahead. We have 47 slokas. So we have 3 more devotees can raise your hands to read after Sudha Mataji, and then we'll end. Haribol. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams. Purvabhyaseन tenaiva riyate yavashopi saha jignasurati yogasya shabda gramati vartate. Synonyms: purva, previous; abhyasena, by practice; tena, by that; eva, certainly; riyate, is attracted; he, surely; avasha, automatically; api, also; saha, he; Jignasu, inquisitive; api, even; yogasya, about yoga; shabda brahma, ritualistic principles of scriptures; ati vartate, transcendence. Translation and purport by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. By virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted to the yogic principles, even without seeking them. Such an inquisitive transcendentalist stands always above the ritualistic principles of the scriptures. Purport: advanced yogis are not very much attracted to the rituals of the scriptures, but they automatically become attracted to the yoga principles, which can elevate them to complete Krishna consciousness, the highest yoga perfection. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 3.33.7, such disregard of Vedic rituals by the advanced transcendentalist is explained as follows: Aho vatasva pachotto variyan yajivagre vartate namatupyam te pustapaste yuvu shashnurarya brahmanupurnama gananti ete. O my Lord, persons who chant the holy names of your lordships are far advanced in spiritual life, even if born in families of dog eaters. Such chanters have undoubtedly performed all kinds of austerities and sacrifices, bathed in all sacred places, and finished all scriptural studies. The famous example of this was presented by Lord Chaitanya, who accepted Thakura Haridasa as one of his most important disciples. Although Thakura Haridasa happened to take his birth in a Muslim family, he was elevated to the post of Namacharya by Lord Chaitanya due to his rigidly attended principle of chanting 300,000 holy names of the Lord daily. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And because he chanted the holy name of the Lord constantly, it is understood that in his previous life, he must have passed through all the ritualistic methods of the Vedas known as the Shabda Brahma. Unless, therefore, one is purified, one cannot take to the principles of Krishna consciousness or become engaged in chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Right. So what we need to do, we simply, irrespective of where our birth is, whether we are born in a Brahmana family or in a Kshatriya family or in a Vaishya family or in a Shudra family, all that does not matter. What only matters is, are we taking up this path of Krishna consciousness? Are we chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Are we engaging ourselves in hearing about the glories of the Lord? Are we chanting the glories of the Lord, etc.? Right? Everything, whatever we do, is it connected with the Lord? If yes, then we are advancing in the path of devotional service. Otherwise, we are becoming more and more entangled in this complexities of material nature. Right? Prabhupada gives a very beautiful example of Namacharya Haridas Thakur. Although a Mohammedan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted him as a Param Vaishnava. Right? Although he was born in a Mohammedan family, because he used to chant 192 rounds, he used to chant the holy names of the Lord. Because anyone who chants Hare Krishna automatically gets purified like that. Okay, text number 45. Harjeet Mataji, go ahead. And 46, Manasi Mataji. 47, Sridhar Prabhu. And then with that, we'll end today's session with the completion of 6th chapter. Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, could you please read this sloka?
प्रयत्नाद्यतमानस्तु योगी संशुद्ध किल्बिषः अनेक जन्म संसिद्धास् ततो याति परां गतिम्.
Synonyms: pranat, by rigid practice; yatta, amana, enduring; to, and yogi, such a transcendentalist; samsuddha, washed off; kilabisha, all of who Mahasaha, all of whose sins; aneka, after birth; many, after many, janma, births; some siddha, having achieved perfection; tata, thereafter; yati, attains; param, the highest; gatim, destination. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And when the yogi engages himself with sincere endeavor in making further progress, being washed of all contamination, then ultimately achieving perfection after many births of practice, he attains the supreme goal. Purport: a person born in particularly righteous, aristocratic, or sacred family, because conscious of his favorable condition for executing yoga practice with determination, therefore he begins his unfinished tasks, and thus he completely attains
He completely cleanses himself of all material contaminations,
when he is finally
free from the contaminations. He attains the supreme perfection, Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is the perfect stage of being freed of all contaminations. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 7.28.
Yesham
Yesham papam. Yes.
Yesham va antagatam janmam punya
karmanam
te
dvandva moha nirmukta
bhajante
mam tradavrataha.
After many births of executing pious activities, when one is completely freed from all contaminations and from all illusory dualities, one becomes engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So, Jananam Punya Karmanam. After accumulating pious credits for many lifetimes. Another verse is also there, very similar. Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanaman Mam Prapadyate. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. Right? Such a great soul is very rare. Here also the same thing is saying. Bhajante Mam Dradavrataha. Who will engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord with determination. Dradavrata means with determination. And not being affected by the dualities. Te Dvandva. Moha, nirmukta. Mukta means freed from all the dualities and material contaminations. Esham tvantagatam papam. Such a person is completely freed from all sinful reactions, is completely freed from all contaminations. Such a person only is able to render service to the Lord with determination and focus and sincerity. That's what is the meaning of this particular verse. Okay, let's move 46. Manasi Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
तपस्विभ्यो अधिको योगी ज्ञानीभ्यो अपि मतोऽधिक कर्मीभ्यश्चाधिको योगी तस्माद् योगी भवार्जुन. Synonyms by Prabhupada, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Tapasvibhya, than the ascetics; adhika, greater; yogi, the yogi; jnanibhya, than the wise; api, also; mata, considered; adhika, greater; karmibhya, than the fruitive workers; cha, also; adhika, greater; yogi, the yogi; tasma, therefore; yogi, the transcendentalist; bhava, just become; Arjun, O Arjun. Translation purport by Shweta Jashweta. A yogi is greater than the aesthetic, greater than the fruitive. Mataji, can't hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear. Go ahead.
Okay. And greater than the fruitive workers. Therefore, O Arjuna, in all circumstances be a yogi. Purport.
When we speak of yoga, we refer to linking our consciousness with the supreme absolute truth. Such a process is named differently by various practitioners in terms of particular method adopted. When the linking process is predominantly in fruitive activities, it is called karma yoga. When it is predominantly empirical, it is called jnana yoga. And when it is predominantly in the devotional relationship with the Supreme Lord, it is called bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga or Krishna consciousness is the ultimate perfection of all yogas, as will be explained in the next verse. The Lord has confirmed herein the superiority of yoga, but he has not mentioned that it is better than bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga is full spiritual knowledge, and therefore nothing can excel it. Asceticism without self-knowledge is imperfect. Empiric knowledge without surrender to the Supreme Lord is also imperfect, and fruitive work without Krishna consciousness is a waste of time. Therefore, the most highly praised form of yoga performance mentioned here is the Bhakti Yoga, and that is still more clearly explained in the next verse. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada mentions elsewhere, bhakti without knowledge or without having the transcendental knowledge, then simply bhakti becomes sentimentalism. Right? We remember the cat and the rat story, right? How in the wedding, they were just used a cat because although there were no rats, simply because he didn't understand the purpose of the cat being there. Right? So similarly, when we perform bhakti, but we don't know why we are performing bhakti, or we don't know the objective behind performing bhakti. We simply do it as a ritualistic activity, not as a spiritual activity, right? There has to be a spirit in the ritual that we perform. Only then the activity becomes spiritual. But rather, if you're just doing it as a ritual, then what happens? Then we don't get the desired success, right? We need to have an objective and work towards that objective. Otherwise, there is no use, right? So similarly, and Prabhupada also says that mental speculation, that means philosophical understanding without bhakti, it becomes mental speculation. So we don't want to stick to either mental speculation or do you want to become sentimental. We want to understand the bhakti jnana and follow bhakti yoga for the pleasure of the Lord. Why? Because in the last verse, Lord Shri Krishna is declaring to everyone that the best of all yogis is the bhakti yogi. Yoginam api sarvesham matgati anantaratmana shraddhavan vajate yomam same yukta tamo mataha. Sridhar Prabhu, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yoginamapi sarvesham madhyadenantaratmanam shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yuktattamo mataha. Hare Krishna. Yoginam, of yogis, abhi, also, sarvesham, all type of, madhyadena, abiding in me, always thinking of me, anantatmana, within himself, shraddhavan, in full fight, bhajade, renders transcendental loving service, yeah, one who, mom, to me, the Supreme Lord, sa, he, me, by me, yukta tamaha, the greatest yogi, matta, is considered. Hare Krishna. Translation. And all of yogis, the one with great fight who always abide in me, thinks of me within himself and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. This is my opinion. Hare Krishna. Dandot Pranam. Purport. The word bhajade is the significance here. Bhajade has its root to the verb bhaj, which is used when there is need of service. The English word worship cannot be used in the same sense of bhaj. Worship means to adore or to show respect and honor to worthy one by service with love and faith, especially meant for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One can avoid worship a respectable man or a demigod and may be called discourteous, but one cannot avoid serving the Supreme Lord without being thoroughly condemned. Every living entity is a part and parcel of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus every living entity is intended to serve the Supreme Lord by his own constitution, Failing to do this, he fall down. The Bhagavatam 11.5.3 confirms as follows. Ye yesham purusham sakshadam prabhavismaram na bhajanti avajananti stadanat prashta padandayaha. Anyone who does not render service and neglect his duty unto primal Lord, who is source of all living entities, will certainly fall down from his constitutional position. In this verse also, the word bhajanti is used. Therefore, bhajanti is applicable to the Supreme Lord only, whereas the word worship can be applied to demigods or to any other common living entity. The word avajananti used to this verse, Srimad Bhagavatam, is also found in the Bhagavad Gita. Avajananti mam mukte. Only fools and rascals desire the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna, such fools take it upon themselves to write the commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita without an attitude of service to the Lord. Consequently, they cannot properly distinguish between the word bhajanti and the word worship. The accumulation of all kind of yoga practice lies in Bhakti Yoga. All other yogas are but means to come to point to Bhakti and Bhakti Yoga. Yoga actually means Bhakti Yoga. All other yogas are progressions towards the destination of Bhakti Yoga. From the beginning of Karma Yoga to the end of Bhakti Yoga is a long way to self-realization. Karma Yoga without fruitive result is the beginning of this path. When the Karma Yoga increase in knowledge and reunification and reunization, the stage of called as Jnana Yoga. When Jnana Yoga increases in meditation, the the super soul by different physical process and the mind is on him. It is called Ashtanga Yoga. And when one suppress the Ashtanga Yoga and come to the point of Supreme Personality of the Godhead Krishna, is called Bhakti Yoga. The culmination, the fractionally Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate goal. But the analyst Bhakti Yoga minutely, one has to understand these other yogas. The yoga who is in progressive is therefore to the true path of eternal good fortune. One who sticks to the particular point and does not make further progress is called by the particular name Karma Yogi, Jnana Yogi, and Dhyana Yogi, Raja Yogi, Hatha Yogi, etc. If one is fortunate enough to come to the point of Bhakti Yoga, it is to be understood that he has surpassed all other yogas. Therefore, to become the Krishna consciousness is the highest stage of yoga. Just as when we speak Himalayan, we refer to the words highest mountain, of which is the highest peak. Mount Everest is considered to the contested culmination. It is the great fortune that one comes to the Krishna consciousness on the path of Bhakti Yoga to become well situated according to the Vedic direction. The ideal yogi concentrate his attention on Krishna, who is called Shyama Sundara, who is beautifully colored of cloud, which lotus-like face as an effulgent as the sun, whose dress is brilliant with jewels and whose body is flower garlanded, illuminating all sides of his rosas luster, which is called Brahma Jyoti. He incarnates in different forms such as Rama, Nrsimha, Varda, and Krishna, the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, and he distanced like a human beings as the son of Mother Yashoda, and he is known as Krishna, Govinda, Vasudeva. He is the perfect child, husband, friend, master, and he is the full with opulence and transcendental qualities. If one remains fully consciousness of this feature of Lord, he is called highest yogi. This stage of highest perfection in yoga can be attained only by Bhakti Yoga and is confirmed in all Vedic literature. Yasya deva para bhaktir yada deva tada gurau tasyaste gadi tasyastade gadida hayarte prastaye mahatmanaha. Only unto these great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and spiritual master are all they all the import Vedic knowledge automatically revealed. Bhaktir asya
Bhajanam tad
Bhaktir
iha
asya
mutro
bhajanam dadiha muktva bodhi nairashyane muktir manaha kalpanaha edat eva naishkarmyam. Bhakti means devotional service to the Lord, which is free from desire for material profit, either in this life or in the next. Devoid in such inclination, one should fully absorb the mind in the Supreme. That is the purpose of Naishkarmya. These are some of the means for the perfect of bhakti of all Krishna consciousness, the highest perfectional stage of the yoga system. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purport of 6th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the manner of Dhyana Yoga. Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam Mataji. Thank
Hare
you for
Krishna,
this.
Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much. So what is the definition of bhakti? Right, Prabhupada has given it in all these, this Anya Bilashita Shunyam, not having any desire other than serving the Lord. Jnana Karmadi Anavritam, not having the desire to acquire a lot of knowledge and thereby get a lot of name, fame, glory, etc. A devotee is not interested in all these things because all these things will die with the body. What is a devotee interested in? A devotee is interested in rendering service unto the Supreme Lord. Then why are we studying the scriptures? We are studying the scriptures because these are all the jnana which will help us advance in bhakti, right? And this jnana karma jnanavartam is to get jnana which will increase our head weight, right? But where is the jnana that we are studying now? The words of Srila Prabhupada, the words of Lord Shri Krishna, they will increase the weight of our heart. That means they will increase the humility in our heart, right? So jnana karma jnanavartam anukulena Krishna anushilanam. Following in the footsteps of the acharyas when we render service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam. This is called Bhaktir Uttama, Uttama Bhakti. Uttama Bhakti means we are attaining the platform of Krishna Prema. So that is what it is. So with this, we will come to the conclusion of chapter 6 of the Bhagavad Gita. Now we are entering into the jewel, right? Bhagavad Gita is described as a jewel, which has got the top case from 1 to 6 chapters. The below case is from 13 to 18 chapters. That is, the top case is Karma Yoga, the below case is Jnana Yoga. In between is the Bhakti Yoga, 7 to 12. So from Monday, Tuesday, we'll be studying teachings of Lord Chaitanya. We're continuing the teachings of teachings to Sanatana Goswami. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, next Wednesday, we will be starting with 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So please do stay tuned for the study of teachings of Lord Chaitanya and for this teaching for the study of Bhagavad Gita. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrind ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So devotees can switch on your cameras. Quickly we'll do a 1 minute kirtan. We already extended the time 1:15. We'll do a quick 1 minute kirtan, see the darshan of devotees and end up a session. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatyarishatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Jaya Jaya Sudarshan Jaya Bala Gopal Jaya Bala Gopal Prabhupada Jaya Guru Deva Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Srila Prabhupada Gurudev की जय हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णवावृंद की जय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णवावृंद की जय Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So today is 12th of April. 5 days from today is Ramanomi. 7 days from today is Jayapataka Swami Srila Guru Maharaja's 75th appearance anniversary as per the Tithi. So I hope all of you are part of the festival group, wherein we only have Yuddha-kand and Uttara-kand left, right? We have completed until Kishkinda-kand and Sundara-kand. So please join the festival group, and I hope devotees are also studying the verses, one verse a week that we are giving in Bhagavad Gita. So in this way, we are able to remember Krishna, we're remembering Krishna's words, we're remembering Krishna's instructions. That is the way that is prescribed in this age of Kali, to chant Hare Krishna, to always remember Krishna and to never forget Krishna. And this is the perfection of human form of life. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Okay. Devotees have any queries or questions? Okay. Shobha Mataji, you have something to say?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
pranams Prabhuji and Mataji. This Sunday, 14th April, we have Rath Yatra in ISKCON Perambur.
Chennai.
So whoever in
Okay.
Chennai, yes Mataji. From 3 o'clock, the Rath Yatra starts. So if
Okay,
anyone
okay.
willing and able to participate, they can participate. I'll share the poster to you, Mataji. Hari Jai.
Yeah. Actually, at that time when I used to be in Chennai, they used to have the Rath Yatra in Kuchalambal Kalyana Mandapam.
Yes.
So yeah, it was very nice. Yeah, but now I think the venue's changed. All right. So yeah, do share it. Anyone in Chennai, please do attend the Rath Yatra. And now, from January, the Rath Yatra season will start now everywhere. So, okay. Hare Krishna. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.